Hello, I'm Abhishek from Plug-in India. All of us at Plug-in India own only electric vehicles and create content for the EV community. In this episode, we are going to talk about Mahindra Electric's grand return with electric SUV offerings. Is Mahindra playing the EV game just like a typical big eyes car manufacturer? Essentially, they announce grandiose EV plans to the media, but ensure that the reality plays out just like they want. So, are you ready? Let's get into it. One of the goals of electric car wash is to see through the PR fluff that is spouted by big car companies in the media and understand what their real intentions are for electric cars. For example, take a look at our Kia E6 Ioniq 5 video. While auto journalists are blinded by the stunning looks of those cars and the money lavishly spent by the Hyundai group, the EV community can get you a perspective that you won't find from any big auto media outlet. So let's understand what Mahindra actually revealed at their event. They revealed the electric car platform called the INGLO and 5 SUV models that will use that platform. INGLO stands for Indian Innovation at Heart with a global reach. The platform has the following features: modular, scalable design that allows variable vehicle lengths, widths, and wheelbases, LFP chemistry-based design using two cell architectures, blade and prismatic, battery packs with capacities of 60 to 80 kWh packs with high charge discharge cycles, 175 kW fast charge, 80% in less than 30 minutes, compact drivetrain with motor, transmission, inverter, controller integrated into a single unit, high voltage platform, design global NCAP 5-star rating. The platform is key for all electric car manufacturers. Volkswagen designed the MEB platform for its ID branded vehicles. Hyundai showed us the eGMP platform. Tata showed us the pure EV architecture with the Avinya Unveil. And now Mahindra has shown us their platform and it is called INGLO. The modular EV platform is nowadays referred to as a skateboard. All the important bits and pieces are combined into one unit and then the body is fitted. The skateboard is suitable for multiple types of cars, a 2-seater, a 5-passenger SUV, or even a pickup truck. Such simplicity also helps lower production costs, which is the key to profitability. Without the need to find a place for an engine, a transmission, radiator, exhaust system, drive shaft, there's a lot more room for people and their stuff inside, so electric cars feel more spacious, even if they are the same size as traditional models on the outside. Mahindra did not mention the system voltage of the INGLO platform. They did say it will support 175 kilowatt DC fast charging, so our guess is that it would be a 400 volt architecture based system. It certainly looks like Mahindra has abandoned their low voltage platform called Mesmer, which we saw at the 2018 Auto Expo. Looking at the features of INGLO, I would say it is well ahead of Tata Motors Ziptron platform. Ultimately, Tata's pure EV architecture will be competing with INGLO, and it remains to be seen who among the two of them will launch the first electric car on these platforms. One interesting thing that Mahindra got right strategically is their partnership with Volkswagen, where they signed an agreement to explore the use of components from Volkswagen's MEB modular electric car platform in Mahindra's electric vehicles. The Volkswagen MEB platform has been in production for a few years already with the ID3, ID4 electric cars. It was designed from the outset as an open vehicle platform, which means it was intended for use by other manufacturers. This will benefit Mahindra greatly as they won't have to recreate components and thus have access to Volkswagen's production-ready components. Now, the corporate suits at Mahindra went on to talk about the onboard computers, display systems in the platform which are heavily software driven with features like high performance computers, embedded 5G network capability, OTA updates, and edge-to-edge visitor screen display for interacting with the software, augmented reality heads-up display, and voice commands. But let's be honest, we're talking about Mahindra here. They are essentially a car company and not a tech company. All of these software-driven drivetrains will be new territory for Mahindra, and they've not released any major details on software investments. I personally have first-hand experience of how Mahindra abandoned software development or updates for my E2 electric car. And it's not like this was always the case. Take Kamlesh, the founder of Plug in India and one of the first E2O owners in India. His blog records how he used to take his car in for software updates back in 2013. But soon after, Mahindra stopped all updates and did not even bother to fix issues or remote monitor electric cars in the field. We still have hundreds of disconnected Mahindra electric cars on the road. With this kind of track record, do you seriously expect me to believe anything Mahindra says regarding software? Unless management shows a plan for how they are going to tackle software within the company, I for one will remain skeptical. Regarding the vehicles themselves, Mahindra showcased 5 SUV monstrosities that will arrive only after 2024. All 5 models shown are large-sized SUVs. The efficiency on highways would be close to 250 to 300 watt-hour per kilometer, which will scare away people like me who crave efficiency. But Mahindra are the SUV kings, and it's normal that they will continue to create these monstrosities in the EV world. Oh yes, Mahindra will launch one XUV 400 electric SUV with the old gen platform, with deliveries supposedly starting in early 2023. But why would you buy this car when 2 years later you can get the INGLO Platform cars? In my honest opinion, this limited launch of the XUV 400 electric SUV is just a way of greenwashing for Mahindra to shut up people for the next 3 years. But here is how Mahindra plans to not disrupt the ICE vehicle business anytime soon. They will launch one electric SUV every year after 2024 on the INGLO platform. By 2027, they may have 4 or 5 electric cars in their portfolio, while continuing to launch oil-guzzling SUVs by the dozen and continuing the never-ending updates to their XUV, Thar and other pollution SUVs. This way, they will continue to have 10 to 15 ICE models and variants and just 4 to 5 EVs, and their business won't be disrupted. They will continue to push oil guzzlers. If you want a demonstration of how to drop the ball hard, look no further than what Mahindra has done since 2010. They bought the Reva from Chetan Maini and killed it. Chetan Maini announced the Halo electric car and Mahindra killed it. They got rid of key processes, personnel and technology that was needed to take care of their customers. They announced the EKUV and killed it. Is there any doubt as to the fate of the new lineup of EVs that has been announced? The fact that the first real EV will be released not this year, not next year, but 2 years from now should give you all the clues you need. You can expect all of this from Mahindra Electric. Artificially inflated pricing to keep EV numbers low, just like what they did with the E2O Plus P8, which sold at 12 lakhs, and the e-Verito, which was sold at 11 to 17 lakhs. You can expect no EVs under rupees 10 lakh. Having an EV at around 7 to 8 lakh rupees will disrupt their ICE SUV business, and they will absolutely ensure nothing of that sort happens. And they are not the only ICE company that is doing this. You can expect the same awful experience at dealerships, where priority will be given to selling pollution SUVs as they bring in the service revenue. You can also expect the same old dealership greed, where they fleece EV consumers and charge crazy amounts for electronic parts. You can expect substandard service experience at Mahindra's dealerships with uninformed service reps. So there you go. That is the Mahindra experience for you. Now I hope that Mahindra proves me wrong and makes changes to their EV operations and shows real EV ambition. For example, they might finally release the Mahindra Atom, which is such a promising last mile connectivity EV, and I'm sure will sell in large numbers if they actually go through with their commitment and start selling the car. But I'm not betting on them because they are part of the big ICE OEM mafia who see EVs as threats and not as opportunities. I'm an owner of the Mahindra E2O and I love it. I will never buy a Mahindra electric SUV unless I see real changes and a vision for electric cars. You heard my take on the event, but now let's suss out the mood of electric car owners who watched Mahindra's event video. First, we'll hear from Mr. Zaril Lobo, a veteran of the EV community who owns not only an E2O but also the original Reva.
A sad day for all of us. Emmy unveiled huge SUVs which aren't even coming yet. The first one is expected in 2024. The common man in India cannot afford any of these and doesn't need them. What the common man in India needs is a small two-wheeler and four-wheeler to commute in the city. He is not really looking for long-range vehicles without being out of line. We look at China, who has small cars for city, beautiful small cars. I think the government needs to look at that seriously. Why should we be reinventing the wheel when other countries have already done it? They've got vehicles ready. We kind of bring them in and carry on from there without trying to reinvent the wheel. Sure, the big SUVs give them more money, but then is money everything? Is the government listening? We don't need the Teslas. We need small, affordable EVs. ASAP. We've been waiting a long time.
So, Zarir raises a very good point. We see so many EVs in China now, making EVs attractive in China, and not just large EVs but small EVs. We need those kinds of small EVs in India. And now let's hear from Mr. Suresh, who completed 100,000 kilometers in his E2O.
India, as you know, is a country, the entire mass of people are willing to invest in a car, and the investment levels are pretty low. So, if anybody were to introduce a technically advanced and a robust car in the price range of 5 to 7 lakh rupees, they have a market breaker advantage with them in terms of volumes, and they could really kill the competition. Unfortunately, none of the people who are introducing the cars now have aimed any car to be launched sub 10 lakh category. This is my take on this. I still enjoy driving my E2O, and I have covered 1 lakh 42,500 kilometers on the original set of batteries. But the performance, even today, is adequate for me. The only worry is I do not get any support from Mahindra. Thanks.
Right, so you heard from Mr. Suresh about his experience with Mahindra, that despite completing 150,000 kilometers nearly in his E2O, he has received almost no support from Mahindra. And neither does he have any confidence that Mahindra will come up with a suitable small car for him to drive in the future. Now, to wrap things up, let's hear finally from Mr. Kamlesh, the founder of Plug-in India and one of the first owners of an E2O in India.
I'm disgusted by the SUV culture of these car companies. Indian car companies like Tata and Mahindra have an obligation to offer at least one or two affordable electric cars for the common man. Such a car is not in their plans. For example, Tata quickly abandoned their Tiago EV and Mahindra did the same with the EKUV. Essentially, there won't be an electric car in the 7 to 8 lakh price point. It just won't happen. The ICE car companies have banded together and have ensured that they protect their ICE car business. That is their main motivation. Regarding Mahindra's video, their plan is to launch one SUV in 2024. By 2030, they might have 4 SUVs maybe. Again, they want to ensure that the EV volumes will remain low and they'll keep the ICE business flowing till 2030, and then later they'll see. So these companies are wanting as less disruption as possible, and unfortunately there are no car startups pushing our car OEMs, unlike in the two-wheeler space. In the two-wheeler space, we have incredible action because of startups like Ather, Ola, pushing the two-wheeler big ICE companies. But here, there's nothing like that here. So these guys have a free reign to do whatever they want. All of this is terribly depressing, and sorry to be negative, but these are my thoughts after watching the Mahindra EV Vision video.
So there you have it. You heard the thoughts of the community. As you can see, Mahindra has incredible and experienced electric car owners, but they never even bother to talk to us and ask what the community wants. That is the most disappointing thing coming out of this entire event. Thanks for watching. Do write in the comments below your thoughts on Mahindra's EV vision and the INGLO platform. Are you disappointed? Are you excited for the long-awaited launch of the XUV 400? Or will you wait for the INGLO Platform cars? And I will see you soon for another episode of Electric Car. Thank you and goodbye.